And we are live this Thursday night. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. For those that are coming on and coming on live, love it if you would just go down, give us a comment, say hi to us. You might show up as Facebook user if it's on Facebook. So if you want to say hi and let us know just even first name, we'd love to say hi to you. And tonight I am on here once again with my dear bestie, Dr. Kim Caporale. Hey, Kim. Here
Hi.
we are. And tonight, you guys, we have a really interesting program for you, I think.
We do.
And we're really excited about it because, there's so much to brain health and focus and stress resilience. And we're just excited. Dr. Kim has put together a beautiful slideshow for us, just talking a little bit about it. And then stick around because we are going to give you some beautiful ways that you can take the information that she's going to give us and actually put it into practice. So you'll have some tools, super simple tools that you can take away from this to really help yourself relax, feel better, have better focus, better brain balance. And take it away, Kim.
Okay, well, here's the scarecrow. And, if I only had a brain, well, you do have a brain. But sometimes we just need to balance the brain. So we are right now, we are the Brain Balance Institute. So our brain, not all of us can regulate stress and anxiety and depression, coordination, and how we react to these emotions. We all know that, right? So sometimes we need to be jolted. We can jolt our emotions. And this is all due to connecting to our brain balancing. So we're going to show you some activities that you can do using your body and using exercise and even the wand that we love so much. So, we can strengthen our brains by, like we just said, exercises and techniques that we're going to show you so we can function and improve cognition and physical tasks. Sometimes you just feel like you're frozen in time, like your feet are so heavy and you're not thinking correctly and your foot and your heart starts racing and you're thinking wild, extreme thoughts and you have anxiety, you have fear. I mean, that happens a lot of times. We talked last week about that when I was up in the mountains and, the fear of the hurricane, we fear we fear the pandemic, we fear things that we hear on the news and we can't get it back. We can't get that fear away and we can't get our anxiety back. We can't get balanced. And that's all what brain balancing is about, the exercises and techniques that we're going to try to explain to you and show you. And so you can improve all of this. So brain balancing is not teaching coping skills. Rather, a brain wellness program is through exercise, movement, diet, meditation, cognition, and sensory activities, and much more that we want to bring to you not only this week, but many weeks to follow. So brain balancing can enhance your moods. It can, like we just said, reduce anxiety and fear, but also focus. It helps you with performance and reasoning and intention. So just think you're at work and you just can't get it going. Well, we're hoping that some of the exercises and that we show you, you could do right there sitting at your desk. There's one in particular, right, Renee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, movement therapy. This guy from Harvard Medical School, I mean, this is what he says. We need careful planning of our movements. We need careful planning of our decision-making, our reaction time and attention. And he is an instructor at Harvard Medical School, and he's the director of Mobility and Falls Program. And can you believe that? At Hebrew Senior Life of Boston, he says staying mentally active is very important to avoiding falls. And we all have parents or relatives or maybe us that have balance problems, and we can enhance not to fall, to prevent the falls, to prevent um, problems in movement and decision making and reaction time by brain balancing. So all this, guys, are backed by research. It isn't something that we dreamt up. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to be doing this for a few weeks and come back for more of this good stuff. So, there's a left brain and a right brain, people. And, some people, oh, well, I'm right brain. I'm more music oriented, and I'm left brain and I'm more reasoning. Well, that's all good and fine, but we need to balance. And we need to work on that so we can be less stressed and function cognitively better. And we did 1 week on vagus nerve, and that's my favorite thing, the vagus nerve. And oh my gosh, how you can actually balance the brain through vagus nerve exercises. And I got the ear there for you. Those are acupuncture points in the ear, shen men, and kidney, liver, spleen, and heart. So that covers about the whole body, right? So you could wand your ear and just go down in a swoop and know that you have taken care. Shen men is more heart-centered and it's more emotional. And so, but the kidney organ, the liver, the spleen, the heart, the spleen being the roller of blood, the liver being the roller of, anger, and balancing that out and taking any kind of anger or angst away. Kidney being helping you of your life force, and your heart being, of course, the center of your body and regulating that and preventing anything that could happen. So anywho, that's basically the slide presentation and that we wanted to talk about. But I think Renee has a lot more to say about that.
I do, because we always know Renee has a lot to say about all kind of things, doesn't she? So while we're on the screen, though, and it's okay to keep it here, and then we'll take it off in a sec. But so how can we? Let me just share. I'm going to just accentuate a little bit of what Kim was talking about. So yes, we have our left brain and our right brain. I remember it as left logic. And then the right is creativity, but it's also emotion. So, if you're somebody, we all, I think, have a dominant side. We all use both sides, but some of us become more dominant on one side than the other, or even during the day, stress, etc. We can shift to one dominant side from the other. So let's just say somebody who's very left brain, very logical, but there's like no emotion there. And that's just not a whole person, right? We need to have definitely logic, but we also need to be able to access our emotions in order to be a full human. Or you can have some people that that are just constantly, it's all the emotion, it's all the drama, the emotion, but there's no logic to it. Same thing. It's too much dominance on one side to the other. So we have these two, and in between there, we have a spot, it's called the corpus callosum. And that's sort of the bridge between the two. So, even when we get really stressed, what can happen is we get all one side of the brain, but not the other. And it's very addictive too. We get very addicted to those emotions, and we keep that, and then we can really get off center. So what we're going to learn today, I'm going to show you a couple of different things that you can do to start to balance the left and right brain together. And when you have balance between the two, now they're working together. You're much more resilient to stress. You still have emotion, but you also have access to the other side. So you have that logic. Because don't you know, whenever something really stressful happens right away, right? We're fight or flight. We're not breathing. We're chest breathing. We're going really fast. And if you ever noticed, if you're really stressed, like you just can't think. You can't think. You can't remember. You don't make good decisions. And there's actually, it's called fight, flight, or freeze. And that's the other thing. We freeze. So when we're in that situation, I'm going to show you some things that we can do to quickly keep the two of them together. The deep breathing, yes, the relaxation, the syncing, the focus. We've talked about some of those things, but some specific things to also sync the two sides of the brain. And when you're there, now you have access to both of those. And it's also called super learning. So if you're studying or you're helping your children get to study, and when they're like all over the place, this is great things for you to do to help them. You do it as well to help them settle down, sync the two sides, and then they're better able to focus and do their homework or whatever it is that they need to get going. So one of the things what we can do with the wand, if you have a wand, is we know that we were talking about movement, that the left side, say the left hand, actually works, or the left side of the brain works the right side of the body. So when we take, let's say, my left hand and I cross it over the midline of the body, just doing that begins to sync the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain. So anything that's doing a cross patterning can be very helpful at brain balance. So, whenever we have babies and they're just, kind of starting the movement, it's really important. Doctors will tell you, pediatricians, that it's important for babies to crawl and watch them crawling. They need to cross crawl. In other words, one hand is up and then the opposite leg to start that crossing. And that's because that's really helping the brain start to understand that syncing motion. Notice when we go to walk. What do we do when we walk? One arm and one opposite leg. So this is how we walk. We're walking. Movement automatically helps to sync the brain. So the body and the brain are always working together to try to maintain that balance until we get under tremendous stress, right? And then it's kind of like the circuits get blown. So we're going to show you some ways to resync and get the brain body and the circuits back again. So let's go back to the wand and that whole idea of vagus nerve. So I have the wand now and it's opposite day. So this is my right hand. How about when you go to wand, thinking about, I'm going to use that hand, but I'm going to wand my opposite ear. So I'm going to wand up in that area with the vagus nerve, but I'm cross patterning. Then I'm going to switch and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to cross pattern. All right, you guys, how about cross pattern the foot? So, you can go down and do the same side, but why not also go opposite hand to the bottom of the foot and work that? Opposite hand, this is easy because this is how you're going to do the opposite part of the hand, but constantly working to think, okay, I want to cross pattern this. How can I do that? So just constantly shifting side to side. Just that can really help us sync the brain as we're using this. And also the brain has a lot of fluid and water in it as well. So does the body. So as we're doing this as well, we're giving our bodies the information, the heat. We know the heat is really important, and the information from the frequencies. So we're putting it all together, right? And using it to not only help the body, but also to sync the brain. So just additional creative ways to think about using the wand. Did I leave anything out with that, Kim? Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Beautiful.
Dan was talking about the gut-brain connection, what it is and whether it fixes it. Well, definitely, because, we can do relaxation techniques. We can do brain balancing with the gut-brain because, for long time ago, they were doing biofeedback for the gut-brain connection. So, yeah.
So absolutely, it all works together.
Yeah.
So you guys, let's play with one. This is it's called a whole body posture. And this is something you can do every day. If you are like, at work and you're just like, you just can't seem to focus, you can't get everything down, everything's all over the place. Or if you're really stressed, this is a beautiful thing. So let's do this one together. You can do it right there wherever you're sitting. You can even do it standing, but sitting is nice since we're sitting. So all I want you to do is cross. It doesn't matter which side. I'm going to call it out, but it really makes no difference. So I'm going to cross my right foot over my left foot. So crossing at the ankle. So notice that's our first cross brain. Now I'm going to put both arms up, backs of hands facing, then come like this. What have we just done? We've crossed at the wrist. I'm going to intertwine my fingers. Now, for some of you, if you don't have good mobility in the wrist, you can just set it down into your lap. That's perfect. I like to do one more cross, which is take it under and come to here. This is comfortable for me. If it isn't for you, it's still perfect. It will still work. So this is called a whole body posture. We're crossing the meridians and the lines all over. Now, you're going to put the tongue on the back of your teeth, top of the roof of the mouth. And why is that, Kim? Why are we going to do that?
Why are we going to put because so we can do like relax our jaws.
We can relax the jaws.
It does.
Yes, that's definite. I caught her off guard. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I should have given you a little preamble. But what I was going to say is, because in Chinese medicine, we have a meridian that goes from here all the way up and back down the back, and then a second one from the top all the way up to here. So and there's a tiny space where they're not connected. Am I correct about that?
So when I was talking as a speech language pathologist over there with the palate and everything. So that's what
you were going speech pathologist. You know when you have 18,000 things that you do?
That was a right brain, left brain kind of thing. Yeah.
It's hard. So if you put your tongue up there, it closes that gap. So you're actually able to keep in the energy that you're going to get from the breath right in the body. So that's just an additional little aside. So if you can do this, putting your tongue there, trying to keep it there. And I'm going to recommend you shut your eyes. You don't have to, but it's really nice. And then just start to take some nice, deep, slow breaths. And as you're doing this, I'm going to look at you. We need to do this for a good 2 minutes. Let's see where we are. A nice 2 minutes. And the reason for that is it takes about 2 minutes for this complete balancing. And what you're going to feel as you're doing this is a relaxation. You're going to take Paula would like me to take the screen off, the slides off. Kim, would you do that, please? Can you do that? I can do it. Sorry, there we go. Paula's having a hard time watching and seeing. So let's do it this way. All right, so there you are. One more time. Deep breath, eyes are closed. Now, as you're doing this, it's a really nice idea to just start to say some positive affirmations for yourself, doing them in a positive tense. I am relaxed. I am happy. I am enough. Whatever the positive intentions that you are saying in a positive tense as you're here with the breath. Now, part of the reason that we do that is because when we're in the whole brain posture and we're syncing the two sides of our brain, that's actually giving us access to our subconscious mind. And those affirmations can then actually get into the subconscious to start to work to actually shift our belief system. So when we are not in a brain balanced place and we just say positive affirmations, they're nice. They might make you feel good for a few seconds, but you're not actually changing belief systems. When you are doing it in a whole brain posture, deep breathing like that, it relaxes the nervous system. So that's number one. And number two, it balances the brain. And you're actually able to get into the subconscious to help begin to shift those beliefs into something that you would prefer. So let's just take a few more seconds, some nice big deep breaths again. And you will feel a shift, even if it's subtle. And if you don't feel it today, do it consistently. You're going to notice that you can really tell a difference in how you're feeling. My brain is balanced and I am in super learning mode right now. Nice work, you guys. All right, so now slowly come out. You can uncross the legs, uncross the hands. Now there is one more thing you want to do. You're going to put your fingertips together in a steeple. Just look down, and we're going to hold this for about 4 seconds. We call this the lock-in. And that's exactly what it's like. It's just kind of locking it into the energy system, locking it into the brain, and then stop. And then just notice. And if anybody that's on here doing this, love it if you post that, wow, you felt that. Could you feel that, Kim? Did that help?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
doing
That's good.
relaxation.
Yeah.
So I learned that technique. It's been around for a long time. I personally learned that technique when I was doing a lot of my work with Psych K. And Psych K is a beautiful way to shift subconscious beliefs into beliefs that are serving you. Rob Williams does it, and you could read about it a lot with Bruce Lipton. He's a big proponent of doing Psych K and specifically in working with that whole brain posture. So use that. It's a beautiful tool. Now, one last tool that I want to share is a move that one of my dearest mentors, Teresa Tapp, taught us many years ago. It is called the hoedowns. And how she knew how powerful this little 2-minute move was, I don't know. But what I can tell you is over 20 some years, I have seen this move help so many people, myself included. And it just helps to sync the brain. You're going to see it will be very left brain, right brain, but it's also very lymphatic. Every time you touch your foot down, you'll see what we're going to do. It's pumping the lymphatic system. So it's reducing stagnation. It's working in the fascia. And we know the brain gets juicy and stays young with movement. Movement is the most important thing to really help our brains stay young and healthy. That has been proven. So I'm going to show you this move. And if you can, get up and do it. If not, watch it later and give it a try. Now, you're not going to see my head. It's not going to matter because my head's not doing anything but getting the brain balance from this move. So I'm going to move my chair over. Now, with this particular move, there's also a sequence that we do. So I'm just going to tell you the sequence and then we're going to do it. So I'm going to say that we are going to do 2 sets of 4s. This will make sense as we get going. 2 sets of 2s and 4 singles. So just keep that in mind. Uh-oh, Kimmy, what just happened?
I don't know. Where are you?
Back to the stream. There I go. All of a sudden, we got lost. All right, but we're resilient. We are so resilient, right? Because we have our brains balanced. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring my hands like this first, right like this, palms up. My elbows are in, and then I'm going to open them out to the side. All right. Now I'm going to just start with one leg. Doesn't matter what you're going to start with. And I'm going to lift it to the front 4 times because we're going to do our first set of 4s. You ready? I'm going to go slightly at a diagonal. I'm going to go over here where you don't see my face. Oh, thanks, Kim. That's good. You ready? So it's just a 1. You can't see more of me. Sorry. This is how it is because I can't move back.
Maybe,
So,
Renee, if you would down at the bottom hit a single person and maybe then I'm out. Once you
okay.
hit.
We could try that. But it's giving me, let me.
Hey guys, we lost her.
No, I'm here. Oh, that's bigger. That's a little better. Wow, that's cool. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Patricia. So here I am. We're going to lift that 1 foot 4 times to the front. You ready? So we're going to go 1, just lifting, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to take that leg and I'm going to take it out to the side. And I'm going to take that same side arm and I'm going to cross it to the front. And I'm going to do 1, 2, you're welcome, 3, and 4. We're going to come back. So that was my first set of 4s. So we're going to do 1 more set of 4s, 2 sets of 2s, front for 2, side for 2, and 4 singles. I'm going to go kind of slow. So do it with me. Here we go. Second set of 4s. You ready? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and front, 4, 2, side, 4, 2, front, 4, 2, side, 4, 2. Now singles, you ready? These are challenging. Front and side. So I'm doing opposite leg to arm. Front, 4, side, front, and side. That's your first set. And then we go and we do it on the other side. You ready? I think the first time I did same side arm, didn't I?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's opposite. Okay. I was focused on trying to everybody see me. All right. So here we go. Opposite. Here we go for 4. First set of 4s. Lift, 2, 3, 4, and side. Sorry. Side. 2, 3, and 4. Again, front, 2, 3. Doesn't matter, Patricia. Side. We're just doing brain balancing. 3 and 4. 2 counts. Front, 4, 2. Side, 4, 2. I like to sing it. It's easier to follow if you sing it, isn't it? Side, 4, 2. And singles, front and side. 2 and side. 3 and side. 4 and side. You did it. Did you have trouble? When you get to singles, it can be a bit challenging. All of a sudden, the arms and the legs are going everywhere. So if you found that to be true, just laugh, because here's something else that we know. When you get upset and frustrated, you get stressed, can't think, you're done. So you have to just relax with it and laugh. So Patricia, if you're actually doing it for a little tightening and toning, feet should be pointed. And that will help slim down the belly a little bit. But for just brain balancing, it's really just about lifting the leg and going to the side and opposite arms and legs. That's what we're trying to do. We're crossing the midline. So I have had I've been doing that a long time. And at one point, there was a woman who was in charge of the Youth Symphony here in Atlanta. And she loved hoedowns, and she used to get the kids before they would go and start practicing. She'd have everybody get up and do a couple sets of hoedowns, and then they would go practice. And when she got to the point where she could tell they were like all over the place, they were kind of losing focus, like my camera, she would have them get up again and do another set of hoedowns, and she just swore by them. So if you're somebody that does have a hard time, really, or maybe some ADD, ADHD, just generally have a hard time with focus, that's a great one to do when you have a time to get up and really move. If not, just go into your full brain posture, do some breathing and positive affirmations, and you will be good to go. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that and got a little bit more out of that. And we will be back with some different and more things that you can use to really help become more stress resilient, which is super helpful, and ability to really get that brain to balance and get some better super learning. Good. Kim, how would you like to end? Do you have something else that you'd like to share?
No, I don't. I just think that we've filled the brains of these people enough for tonight. And so now they have some tools in their toolbox to balance their brains. And I think that using the iTeraCare wand is like a great thing because it blows heat and it moves the lymph, and then we can brain balance and we can, cross the midline. And that's the ticket to brain balancing.
Cross the midline.
Yeah.
And well, what I find too, and we'll do this for the end, is sometimes the most helpful things are the simplest.
Yes.
We think we have to go in and put electrodes on our brain and all that kind of stuff. And not saying that's not a good thing, but for most of us, we just need something that we can use right in the moment, right? Something simple that we have at our disposal. We don't have to pay anybody to put ourselves into a full brain posture. Right. We can do it ourselves. Self-healing tools. Get up and do a couple sets of hoedowns. And you guys, thanks for coming on. Thanks so much. And thanks for all of the beautiful comments. We so appreciate it and love you all back. And with that, we will bid you all a fond adieu.
Right.
Bye, you guys. Thanks.
Bye.